Hi everybody, welcome to Oxford News This Week Update. I'm Terry Stiles. And as you know, Memorial Day weekend is coming up quickly, and if Mother Nature remembers, summer is not far behind. And that means water sports, boating, swimming, and pools are about to be our playground. With that comes public safety, and last year, drowning became an epidemic. It still remains the #1 cause of the unintentional injury-related deaths among children ages 1 to 4, affecting 3 families daily. Before getting into the water this season, besides swimming lessons, which reduce chances of drowning by up to 80%, and check your local Secretary of State for boating lessons and licenses. Here are a few published safety fact tips. Buy bright colored swimwear. Enroll in high quality regular swimming lessons beginning at age 1. Be sure to buy U.S. Coast Guard approved life jackets. Ensure that there are layers of barriers to prevent kids from accessing pools or other bodies of water during the non-swimming time. And speaking of safety, Michigan's recent string of tornadoes statewide totals 25 so far this year through last Friday, according to the National Weather Service. Michigan's 30-year average is 13 tornadoes for the full year, with its annual record set in 1974 at 39. Fortunately, according to the National Weather Service in White Lake, all of the latest tornadoes considered weak at EF2. So far this year's tornadoes number is at least 10, a top record. During a tornado warning, immediately seek shelter in place that you've previously identified as safe. Cover your head and neck with your arms in order to protect yourself. You should also put clothing and furniture around or on top of you to shield yourself more. Pay attention to alerting systems for emergency information and updates. If you're outside or in a vehicle, don't try to outrun the tornado. If you cannot get to a building, find a ravine or a ditch, using your arms to cover your head and neck, and put any clothing or padding on top of you. And it's that time of the year again for us allergy sufferers. According to the National Weather Service, the pollen forecast is to reach levels higher than the historic average in nearly 40 states. About 1 out of every 4 adults and 1 in 5 children suffer from the seasonal plague. And the Weather Service says it is likely the season will be longer this year in many areas, blaming it on the wet and warm weather patterns expected later this year. Luckily, the Great Lakes area will see lower tree pollen due to the later start to the growing season. Areas in the Northeast and Great Lakes that experienced a later frost and a later start to the growing season, which we will see lower tree pollen levels this spring. Tree pollen begins in the spring after ground temperatures rise from 40 to 45 degrees, followed by a wave of grass pollen in the late spring and early summer, and then weed pollen that arrives in the late summer and early fall. Lower weed pollen levels are anticipated across the Northeast, lucky them, due to drier weather this summer. Oxford Township Planning Commission voted 4-1 this month to recommend a vacant lot on the southwest corner of Market Street and Lapeer Road to be rezoned from C1 local commercial to C2 general commercial. Although no formal site plan has been submitted, Adam Stewart, with Versa Real Estate representing VAQE LLC, the petitioner requesting the rezoning, did disclose at the meeting that if the site is successfully rezoned, the intention is to build a single-use, 65,000 square foot building to house an Aldi store. That's an Aldi grocery store. The proposal is to rezone property near the entrance at the corner of Market Street and M24, with the entrance being on Market Street. The site also has not garnered any interest under the C1 zoning district, and in summary, the rezoning is compatible with the market demand. 28 Oxford area students were honored on Friday during the Oxford Edison Youth Assistance Annual Awards Ceremony, recognizing nominated students for their selfless acts in the Oxford, Addison, and Leonard Common areas. The award recognized these students and their selfless acts, whether it was setting a positive example through their actions, being a mentor in the 42 Strong peer-to-peer mentorship program, befriending students, or other acts of kindness. Those honored received a certificate of recognition from OAYA and a bag of goodies. The kids and their families had dinner and dessert as the honorees shook hands, giving a fist bump or high five to representatives from OAYA, the Oxford Village Police Department, the Oxford Fire Department, Oakland County Government, the Oakland County Sheriff's Office, Oxford Township, and the Michigan House of Representatives, and the Genesis Credit Union. In all, 44 students received awards, with 28 attending the ceremony. Congratulations to all of you kids for your kind acts. A clinic will be held next week, May 21st, in partnership with the Secretary of State to help eligible drivers learn the process of regaining their privileges. Participants are asked to bring payment for their driving record, and if the participant is eligible, they can have their license restored. They will need appropriate ID, birth certificate, or proof of residency. The Road to Restoration Clinic will be held at the UWM Sports Complex at 867 South Boulevard in Pontiac from 11 a.m. to 3 p.m. And for those of us who need more exercise, there is a free naturalist guided hike May 23rd at the East Went Center at Independence Oaks in Clarkston. Pre-registration for the Walk in the Woods Clinic is made ahead of time by calling 248-858-0916 or go to the website below and follow the directions. Independence Oaks is on Sashabaw Road in Clarkston. And that is it for Oxford News This Week, the update. Thanks for joining us on either AT&T, Spectrum, Roku, Fire Stick, Facebook, and YouTube. I'm Terry Stiles.